halfway through it.
Yeah.
Like that one there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, probably even the one before.
Yeah, it's one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that map's awful impressionistic. I wouldn't trust it farther than I could throw.
About the border zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, it's not dissimilar to my model either.
In fact, that was thinking
Oasis
about it.
zone in the desert, where we have some differences in that agricultural package and the style of nutrient
Indeed.
settlements and that northern bit. So it's language and it's culture and it's.
And is it topographically defined, though? What accounts for that coincidence of lead isotopes, language, culture, tomb types?
Well, I mean, seeing the talks this morning, and then of course seeing Lisa's talk. I mean, this was formulating in my head as these talks were going on. But I mean, this connection or lack of connection between the coast and the interior over time. I mean, it's very real in terms of what you're seeing in the isotopic patterns there. And the metals aren't moving, or exactly, how does that get interpreted? But I mean, I think that, I hadn't really thought carefully about what that truly meant in terms of interpreting, the actual actions on the ground there. But I think, based on these earlier papers and everything, I think what we're seeing is a real culturally driven, decision-making point in terms of access to resources and materials.
But isn't it access to Mediterranean trade as much as anything else? That
It could-
nobody's going to
Yeah.
haul metals from the coast
Yeah.
down to Kirta.
But if they're moving back and forth, it's not out of the question for metals to be moving along those lines as well too.
Sure.
But it just may be that the consumption patterns on the coast aren't really allowing for the metals to go inside into the interior, and so the interior are having to provide their own. And the resources are there.
And already in the early 3rd century, there's several inscriptions from all that southern region with great tax outposts. They were taxing trade crossing from the Sahara into the coastal region in both directions, it looks like. So the government knew there was some money to be made in regulating that trade. It does look like an artificial barrier in one sense, if you just took a tax border, if you'd like, about that period in the 3rd century. And that's really what I was wondering, whether the Romans were exploiting an already existing divide as a natural area, or whether they were creating it.
Well, this is where a better sample of the more prestigious metals, such as the bronzes or something like that, would be a really useful way to look at that, because the lead is not